The End. Roll Credits by Clare Norburn.
Can I help you?
I'm here for an interview on Without Walls with Melvin Bragg.
Mr. Potter? Of course, the interview with God.
God?
It's an in-joke. Melvin Bragg, the god of arts documentaries.
Melvin as God. Not bad for a working-class lad who infiltrated Oxford.
Just like you.
Yes. Melvin and I were part of a social experiment. Of course, we stuck out a mile. Didn't know which fork to use. Didn't holiday on the Riviera. You learn quickly to read the classrooms. You, for instance, I would say minor public school.
Brighton College.
You weren't that academic, but they recognized your social skills, so not head boy, but...
Head of house.
Then Oxbridge. You fancy broadcast media, Daddy has a connection. You've been here 6 weeks and already you're itching for something more. In 10 years you'll be upstairs, perhaps not here at Channel 4, but the BBC, Warner Brothers, or possibly you'll enter the fortress of the Dark Lord Rupert of Murdoch.
You've named your cancer after him.
What?
Murdoch. You've named your cancer after him.
How did you know that?
Oh, I keep my ear to the ground.
I'd wondered if I might tell Melvin that in the interview. But I haven't actually told anyone. Not even Margaret. Do you always take such an interest in the guests?
It depends. Like you say, I plan to get ahead. And your interview with God, or Melvin, if you prefer, well, it's not often that primetime TV is given over to a dying man. I sense it'll be special.
I'm going to sit down now.
Of course. I've messaged the producer. Someone will be down to collect you soon.
I should wish you good luck with the career. But you're management fodder, so you and I are never going to see eye to eye. Not that that should bother you too much, given I'm a dying man.
And I should say, I'm sorry. About your wife. About your cancer.
You see, you can't possibly understand. You've grown up with the goggle box in the corner of the living room. Can you just, for a moment, imagine how you might feel if you hadn't? If you were a working-class teenager in the 50s and you had never set eyes on a TV set.
Must have been quite a moment.
When I gave that talk in Edinburgh for the film festival last year, I said something to the effect that the first time I saw a television program, it made my heart pound. The power of it, you see? And then, later, as a writer, all that potential to educate, no, more than educate, to excite, transform the public, all of the public, not just those lucky enough to win a scholarship.
A medium of great power, potentially wondrous delights that could slice through the tedious hierarchies of the printed word and emancipate us from the stifling tyrannies of class and status and gutter-press ignorance.
Oh, God! My stomach!
You okay?
I will be. I get spasms of pain. They pass, but they leave me winded. and hearing Murdoch Mark II citing me word for word.
Mr. Potter.
It's okay. I'm okay. I have some liquid morphine. I didn't want to take it until just before the red light went on, but I will take it now. Just need some space.
Okay, everyone. Drama is over.
You just quoted from my McTaggart Memorial Lecture last year at the Edinburgh Film Festival. Word for word. How come?
Your speech? Well, I was just extemporizing. Imagining things from your teenage perspective, like you just asked me to. The 1950s grammar school boy, full of promise, who glimpses a version of the future when he sees TV for the very first time. It's very quaint.
I may be in pain from time to time, but I could still fire a revolver, bang, right into Murdoch's temple. That wouldn't be so quaint. Except, there you are. Just one of many Murdochs in waiting. And I don't have bullets enough. Time enough. I really am going to sit down now. No one seems to have come for me.
I'll call up, give them a little reminder. Ah, musicians. You can set up over there.
A little recital in the foyer?
God thought it might get you in the right mood before the two of you meet.
The music is for me.
There was a time when you could get a whole ward to sing.
That's a line from...
Karaoke. The script you finished recently.
Which hasn't been filmed. There's not even been a read-through. My agent has a copy, the BBC, but that's all. So how do you know that line?
Think about the plot. What does your character, Daniel Field, fear? That his story has, and I quote, got out into the world like a contagious disease. Daniel is in pain, like you were just now. The cancer gnawing away at him. And he says, it's all coming true in front of me. I put words into other people's mouths.
It's not just marks on a page. It's not just words in other people's mouths. I make them do things.
I even let them screw each other or lie to each other or kill each other. Yes, kill. So says Daniel Field, who is you.
Only dull people, completely lacking in imagination, see intersections between my characters and my own personality.
Oh, come on. A TV writer, diagnosed with cancer and 8 weeks to live, who hankers after a Forest of Dean sweetheart he met when home from Oxford one summer.
Don't you dare bring Margaret into this. Karaoke is not about me, and it's certainly not about her. I may use things I know to give a sense of authenticity, but that is all.
The point is, our TV writer, Daniel Field, he keeps hearing other people citing lines from the script, doesn't he? So, art mirrors life. Or is it the other way around? You're a writer. You, by your own admission, put words into other people's mouths. Not so keen to get a taste of your own medicine. Not so much fun when you're not in control of your own story, is it?
What do you want?
Oh, what I want doesn't begin to come into it. This isn't about me. It's about you. It's your story.
What does that mean?
What it's always meant to you. Since you were a little boy, high up in a tree in the Forest of Dean.
Just who are you? You know what I thought as a child? You can cite words from scripts that only 2 other people in the whole world know right now. How? Why?
What's the date today?
What's that got to do with anything? March the 15th.
No, Dennis. March the 15th was nearly 3 months ago. And your interview with Melvin, it was broadcast on the 5th of April. That huge outpouring of love you received from the public. You remember it now, don't you?
I talked about the blossom, the extraordinary nowness of everything, knowing that I had such little time, how much everything mattered, how overbright it all was. And I told them I wasn't scared.
You made them stop and think. You gave them such a gift. A human race who avoid looking death in the face. You got through to them.
But what does that matter? I remember now. Margaret's gone. Just 9 days ago.
I'm sorry.
How could I have forgotten? Am I dreaming? Reliving the interview to take myself back in time, to fool myself that Margaret will still be there when I get home. But you weren't at the interview, were you?
No, I wasn't. Although in some sense. Dennis, today is 7th of June, 1994.
The day I die.
Yes. The human mind is endlessly ingenious, dreaming up myriad ways to sugarcoat the truth. So I'm sorry that I had to be so heavy-handed. Yet, you've been writing about this moment all your life. These last months, you set yourself a superhuman task. Clawing back more days, hours, minutes, to finish Cold Lazarus. And you did it.
I always used to tell myself a story when I was in pain or in fear as a child, and make believe I was in the middle of a kind of book, the one bright book, in which there was a shape, a meaning, and a good ending.
Daniel Field again. You must have known the master storyteller always keeps the good ending up his or her sleeve.
When Daniel is released and finally dies, I wrote a scene, a tunnel, crammed full of fleeting memories which he passes through and leaves behind. And such a cliché, a bright light at the end of the tunnel, where there was
an angel.
With ridiculous pantomime wings.
The wings don't matter. An angel. Waiting for Daniel. For you.
So you're not a Murdoch clone after all?
There's no room for Murdoch up here. Dennis Potter. You who dare to write so beautifully, so indirectly that it couldn't be more direct. You can rest now.
What about the musicians?
Quite right. We're ready for the other number now.
The End. Roll credits by Clare Norburn. One of the 4 finalists in the Arts Richmond Radio Playwriting Competition 2023, featuring Oliver Redpath as the receptionist and Daniel Wayne as Dennis Potter, with sound production by Harry Jacobs.
You must have shown